Hey everyone, it's DKGM and welcome back to another video. I wanted to make a smaller video talking about my predictions for Nintendo's E3 2021 Direct. I'm only going to be doing Nintendo because I'm just not as invested or as much of a fan as any other company's games as much as Nintendo's. So, without further ado, let's get started. Let's start off with probably the most guaranteed thing we will see at E3, and that is Smash Bros. There's no way we are not getting a Smash character, and hear me out, we might get both Challenger Pack 10 and 11. E3 2019 had both Hero and Banjo, and if E3 2020 didn't get cancelled, we probably would have seen Min Min and Steve. So this year we might get two characters again, so here are my predictions. Crash. I think Crash has the best chance of showing up in Smash because he's a PlayStation icon. We haven't had any PlayStation characters, we've had both Banjo and Steve as Microsoft characters, and Crash was also a competition to both Mario and Sonic in the 90s, so I think it'd be really cool to see all three of these characters show up in a game for the very first time. Dr. Eggman. We need more Sonic characters, and Dr. Eggman is pretty much the last big villain we could see in Smash Bros, considering we got Ridley, K. Rool, and Sephiroth, so I think Dr. Eggman is the one to finish it all up, considering out of all of them, he's definitely the most iconic, and out of all the Sonic characters, I think Dr. Eggman works the best because I don't want another Sonic, so I think Dr. Eggman is the best. And those two characters were the ones I think are the most likely to show up, and the two characters that I want the most to show up. But I also want to mention Ryu Hayabusa because he seems to be very popular when it comes to talking about characters who could show up in Smash, and he's actually one of the last NES icons, aside from, I guess, Bill Rizer from Contra, but that's pretty much the last one we need. And I think it'd be really cool to see, but it's not like there's a whole ton of stuff that Ninja Gaiden has going on right now, aside from the collection that is coming out. But like I said, I really don't have too many characters that I want to show up in the game, aside from Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, but I really don't think that's going to happen. Alright, I'll stop talking about Smash, so let's move on to another game franchise, starting with Mario. We know about Mario Golf Super Rush coming out in June, so I really don't think we'll see any other Mario sports game, but I also don't think we'll see a new mainline Mario game. Mario Galaxy 2 was revealed a year and a half after the original Mario Galaxy came out, and it's been 3.5 years since Odyssey came out. Not to mention Mario Odyssey is my favorite game ever, so as much as I hate to say it, I don't think we'll see Odyssey 2 or a new Mario game at all this year, though I'm probably wrong and we might see maybe another Ubisoft crossover game, or something else from maybe another company. The next thing I want to see at E3 is you subscribing to the channel. You don't even have to watch all my videos, just make that red button gray and we'll be all good. Thank you. Next, let's talk about Pokemon. We know that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will be coming later this year, and Legends Arceus will be coming early next year, so we'll definitely see something BDSP if we don't get some Pokemon Direct like 2 weeks before E3, because that normally happens. For BDSP, I think we'll see some new features and release date, and as for Legends Arceus, I don't think we'll see it. We'll probably get more information in like a September Direct or something like that. Next, we'll talk about Zelda. First, I want to start off with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. We know that we'll be getting a DLC pass with a bonus set this month, and then the first wave in June and the last wave in November, so we will definitely hear what will be included in the first wave at E3. You can watch my video on what I think will be in the DLC, maybe it's in an iCard or something, I don't know. I also think there's a chance for some reason they'll talk about Skyward Sword HD. I don't really know why, but they'll probably talk about it for some reason. Of course, we have to talk about Breath of the Wild 2 as well, and I'd say we have a 50-50 chance of seeing something, and I'll take pretty much anything. It's also Zelda's 35th anniversary, so we might see a collection of sorts. Possibly Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask remastered, or Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, and honestly, I'll take either. Speaking of Zelda, let's talk about Monolith Soft. They helped on Breath of the Wild and make the Xenoblade games. The last game Monolith released was Xenoblade Definitive Edition last year. The last true game they released was Xenoblade 2 in 2017. I think there's a chance we'll see something Xenoblade this year, whether it's a Xenoblade export or maybe even Xenoblade 3. You might say we won't see anything since Monolith was hired to work on Breath of the Wild 2, but they also released Xenoblade 2 the same year as the original Breath of the Wild, so I'd say there's a good chance we'll see something Xenoblade. You may have forgotten about this guy, but let's talk about Kirby. I think everyone forgot about how Kirby normally works on Nintendo consoles. There will usually be a Kirby game within the first year or two, followed by a couple of spin-offs, but then Kirby takes a rest until the console is about 4 or 5 years old, and then the devs just go ham on making Kirby games. So if we get a Kirby game maybe later this year or early next year, I think that would make sense. Real quickly, we'll talk about Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 is supposed to come out next year, so we might see some information on new weapons and or the story mode, but I'm not going to hold my breath on anything. Now, hear me out on this one. Miitopia has given me some hope, because I want to see a Fire Emblem 3D collection. It'll come with Fire Emblem Awakening, Fates, and Echoes, remade to work on one screen with remastered cutscenes. I think I'm hoping for a little bit too much, though I do think we might see a new Fire Emblem game this year, possibly a Three Houses sequel, or something like that, because Three Houses is actually the best-selling Fire Emblem game, so we'll probably see something Fire Emblem related. I don't really know what it could be though, but I'd be fine with anything, really. Finally, I want to talk about two games that have been in development hell for so long, Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. If I'm being honest, I don't think we'll see these games. We say these games will show up in directs every time, but it never happens, so I'm going to say no on these games, but of course, I'd love to be wrong. There is so much more I could talk about, so to make this video not go for too long, I put these predictions and other predictions in a bingo card. Hopefully I get a bingo, though it may not happen. I'd love to be wrong on the things that I said we might not see, and there may be a ton of more things that we'll see that I didn't even think of, so I'd like to know what you guys think as well. But that's going to do it for this short video though, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if there are any more videos you guys want me to make like this, I may consider it. But I'll see you guys next time.